Hey everyone, and welcome to our very first episode of our podcast. My name is John.
My name is Daniel.
And my name is John Nike.
And thank you so much for joining us in our very first launch as we celebrate something very, very special and very close to our hearts, which is EOF History Month.
All right. So before we get started into it, I just want folks are going to introduce themselves. So John, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, so my name is John. I am an honors student. I am a history with secondary education, and my future goal is to become a social studies teacher after I graduate from Njcu.
Dope. John Lee?
I'm currently a junior as music business. My future goals are work with Netflix, Hollywood, get to be the award, work with Bruno Mars, Chris Brown, you name it, all of them with music and acting, and also hopefully make music for video games.
Okay, John Lee, don't forget about the small people out here because you're going to be making it big. And for me, my name is Daniel Merville. I am a OSP EWF counselor here at NJCU. And I can talk a little bit about OSP. So OSP stands for Opportunity Scholarship Program. An EWF program stands for Education Opportunity Fund. So basically what I do here at the university is that I support students through their academic goals and their endeavors. I help them with financial coaching, and I also support students with either networking, career opportunities, all that kind of stuff. So like it's a wraparound services for our students here at NJCU, especially in the EOF office.
This month, we are diving into the history, the impact, and the stories behind the program that shaped thousands of lives, including ours. So let's take it back to the very beginning. EOF was established right here in New Jersey back in 1968, right after the New York riots and during the peak of the civil rights movement.
New Jersey wanted to address inequalities and access to higher education for low-income and first-generation students, especially Black and Latinx communities. These riots actually happened after the assassination of Martin Luther King.
It was spearheaded by Governor Richard Hughes and Dr. Clement Price with a simple but powerful goal: to provide academic and financial support to students who had the potential but lacked opportunity.
All right. So today, EOF supports over 13,000 students across New Jersey. That includes academic counseling, financial aid, tutoring, summer bridge programs, you name it, right?
So let's get personal for a second. Daniel, what does EOF means to you?
So when it comes to EOF for me, EOF means family, means community. It means so much. So I could talk a little bit about my experience. So I'm originally from Jersey, New Jersey, Hudson County. And literally I grew up in the area. I literally went to middle school right up the street. I went to Academy 1. And so I've been living born and raised in Hudson County, and my family's been in Hudson County since like the 80s. So my family's been here for a while. But I'm a first generation college student. And so what that means is that my parents, they're from the Caribbean, and they're not really too familiar, or they weren't really too familiar about EOF. They didn't really know about higher education, EOF, any of those programs or funds and stuff like that. So when I was applying for college, my sister was the one that actually told me about the EOF program. And I think she knew about it because her guidance counselor told her about it, because my sister's a year older than me. And so when she applied, she got in, she did the program. And then after that, I followed suit and did the program at Rutgers University in New Brunswick. When I got into the program, it was great because literally it was like a small community. I did a summer bridge program. So I came in and did summer enrichment where we had to do tutoring, academic support. That was stressful. It was a lot because it was just like you have to deal with the academics of higher education. You had to meet new people, and it was just like very like a big change, but it was beneficial, and I knew that was going to help me out when I transitioned into college. And then from there, I did my 4 years at Rutgers, graduated, and thank you. The reason I did so well at Rutgers was because of the EOF program, right? The EOF program really allowed me to like focus on my academics. It helped me a lot with like learning how to study. I didn't really have the best study tactics. I didn't really know how to study for classes like chemistry and biology and, you know, how to take like these math classes and stuff like that. I suck at math. Math is not my forte.
Math is not my thing.
Right. Math is a struggle. But for me, I just felt really just like, you know, with the EOF program and providing me with tutoring and all these other services, it really helped me out. And so from there, I was able to see how much support I got from being part of this program and how much they supported me financially too, right? I didn't know that EOF, you get state funds and they help you with your, help you apply for your FAFSA. They inform you about, you know, Pell and all these other grants and scholarships, and even talk to you about loans, right? Like how to do the loan process and all that stuff. This information is not communicated to me at all. It wasn't communicated to me when I was in high school. People in my community don't talk about this, right? So it was just really beautiful to see a program that was doing that. And so EOF was the reason why, I always say, is the reason why I'm here today, is the reason why I'm able to be now currently an EOF counselor here at NGCU. I do have a question for you, John, before John Lee goes, but I wanted to ask, how did you hear about the EOF program?
I applied to the program back when I was a freshman in my spring semester of last year. So while I was dorming, I heard about the program. I heard so many great things about it.
Mm-hmm.
That they go on field trips. That they host like amazing workshops. That they have like amazing counselors such as yourself.
What's your experience given?
My experience as being a student from EOF, it has been just amazing. I come from a country, I'm from Cuba, in a way of like not knowing English perfectly, not speaking it perfectly as well. With EOF and OS, I've been learning especially from English, math, I haven't taught science, thankfully. But like, you know, so those two material classes, it's like I need help because like obviously I'm not the best person in math. I'm not the best person in English.
Me neither. I hate math.
Yeah, me
So,
too.
Don't
Math
we
is
all?
it doesn't work out.
So yeah, it's like I gotta seek for help, yes, or otherwise I'm just gonna be, you know, left behind. I'm gonna fail my class and stuff. So I'm gonna tell a history. When I came here 2022 over the summer, I came with all the hopes like, oh yes, I'm gonna do this. I got the help. I wasn't thinking about the money. I was thinking more about like, okay, they gave me a class for free. They gave me that for free, but I didn't jump because I had to work. They giving you food for free.
Wow.
They give you tutoring for free. So I was like, okay, so everything is like $3.99. Why not? My first semester, because it was a lot. I was working every single day. I was like coming from work, going to my house, then coming to school, and like do it the opposite way, like going from school to work, and then from there to house, and then from the house to school. So I was doing that every single day, and it was stressful. Like it just got me to like realize like, am I good enough? Am I really like this person? Like, am I really the man that I wanted to be? Do I really meant for this? So EOF here at New Jersey University, they host a lot of mental health workshops. And I was always talking with my counselors too, Miss Sarah, always talking as well with Mr. Matt, which is currently is our director. And as well at the time with Miss Sabrina. I've been always talking with John as well. So they were the ones guiding me all the time, like, yeah, you just gotta do it. You gotta take this decision because this, or this decision because that. Because I was really going through a lot, like in between work or school. So then I choose a school because it's like, okay, money is always gonna be there. So it's like education is something that is you're always gonna have for yourself, and something that you can always share with others. So
And I feel like it's more than just about the money. It's more. It's so much more than that.
The various components, right? Like the financials are a big thing, right? Especially when it comes to college. You always want to make sure you can afford tuition, pay off your classes and stuff like that. But I think what stuck out for me in the program is definitely kind of like how much people really support you in that community aspect, right? Because I feel like at times when you come to college, it can feel isolating, right? Like you go to K to 12 and like you know everybody, your friends, whatever. Then you come to like college and, you know, for me, I went to Rutgers, New Brunswick. That's like one of the biggest campuses in the state. So we literally have 5 campuses, right? So it's just like I'm coming into a pool of like 20,000 students, and like I have to like find my community that way. That was so hard. And so like I'm so grateful for my EOF program on that campus, who literally was like, hey, yes, this is a big school and there's a lot of people here, but like we got you. Like this is a little community right here that can support you through that. And I agree with John Lee 1,000%. Where I remember one of my teachers in high school said this. She was like, education is something that you will always have. She's like, no matter what happens, like, you know, you can I don't know, you can have this, you can have that, you can have money, you could lose your money, right? You could be the richest person and now you're filing for bankruptcy, right? But when you have your education, you always have your education, and nobody can take that away from you. And I think that's so valuable. And so when programs like this continue to push students, especially students from low income communities, to pursue their education, to be educated, that will continue to allow them to be just feel like at the end of the day, like I have so much value, and that I know that I'm capable and competent to endure anything in my life.
All right. So what's happening this month here on our here on our campus? We've gotten events, panels, spotlights, and more.
Right. So for the past month, actually like 2 weeks ago, we had our EOF on the Boulevard.
Woohoo!
This was a really great event that happened with OSP, Hudson County Community College, and St. Peter's University. So I'll talk a little bit about EOF on the Boulevard. So EOF on the Boulevard, I think it was created like 2 years ago, if I remember. The purpose of it was for the different EOF programs to come together and support each other. So the Boulevard, JFK Boulevard, right? So you have NJCU, who's right here. You have St. Peter's, which is a few blocks down. And then you have Hudson, which is in Journal Square. And so the goal was for like, oh, we all have these programs. We're serving similar students. We should all come together and meet and do like events and activities. So that event happened back on, I think, the last week of April. And it was great. We had like, food. It was like food. There was like carnival games. People were able to meet up with each other. There was like a dancing. We had a DJ outside, so people were dancing, having fun, enjoying the vibes. They had ices, all that kind of stuff. It was a really great event. It was my first EOF on the Boulevard event, and I really enjoyed it because it allowed us to connect as a community and show that, like, even though we're at different institutions, we all have the same purpose of promoting higher education for all our students. And it was great to see the community come out and support that event.
So Daniel, what was your favorite part? Well, since it was your first celebration on the Boulevard, what was your favorite part about it?
That's a really good question. I think my favorite part about it was the two things. One was the music and the dancing components. It was really fun to just dance and get down. And then two, I would say the connection. Like, it was really cool to connect with like St. Peter's University and Hudson County Community College, right? Like, I actually used to take classes at Hudson County Community College. I wasn't part of their EOF, but it was just cool to know like learn more about their program over there at Hudson, and then how a lot of their EOF scholars actually come to NJCU, right? So it was a beautiful thing to see, like, you go at the community college level and then you transfer to the university level. So it's like that connection right there. And then St. Peter's, I don't really have that much history with St. Peter's. I've lived in the area and I've always passed by St. Peter's, but I don't really have that much history with it. But it was really cool to meet their EOF counselors, administrators over there, and see what they're doing and what initiatives they're doing. And then we were able to share each ideas from each other. So it was like a really cool way to like connect and work. And so we're trying to see if we could try to do more community collaborative initiatives like that, because I feel like I always say community is everything, right?
So John Lee, since you were on the Boulevard last year, tell me, how was your experience?
My experience last year at the EOF on the Boulevard was great. I got to talk with a few counselors from Housing Community College. And it's like we always talking about how it's like to be a first generation student. Like, how do you come from speaking one language to now you have to translate for your parents, now you have to translate for yourself, like you have to basically not do all of it on yourself, but like do it for yourself and for your family as well.
Thank you so much for joining us to our very first episode. Stay grounded, stay inspired, and stay proud. Peace.